Yeah. So I got
But
another
that's okay.
closing.
That's
I got
good.
another closing where the tenant didn't leave.
The tenant
Tenant
didn't
didn't leave, Darryl.
leave.
Yes. And she's
Oh,
got a lot of stuff and she smokes and she's
uh,
paying well below. She's paying like 33% of market rent.
I got a feeling there's going to be feces on the walls, TK.
And you know, I went over everything with them. We were doing the offer, you know, there's, you know, we had everything under control. And then in the final layer of negotiations, the seller said, well, I'll agree to this. And if I get this, I'll do this. And it was like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And they felt like that was a big enough piece of a pie on the one side to be able to put up, you know, put the shovel in the ground on the other side. And sure enough, it didn't, they lost the bet.
What the hell are you talking about? Bets and shuffling? What?
Well,
What
like, you
happened
know,
here?
they said that they were going to get rid of the tenant. And so they ended up getting, you know,
Oh,
a better piece of the
what
pie.
the hell are you
But now
talking
they
about?
can't get rid of the tenant. So they're going to have to work on that.
There's ways to get rid
Next
of the
week.
tenant.
No, this tenant, they've done everything. And it's now at the point where it's like harassment. The tenant's had enough.
Harassment.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
the
money's been
tenant's had
thrown at
enough.
her. She's like, I got nowhere to go. I'm not taking your money. And
Wow.
she's
Did you?
right. Like, think about it. If you're paying 33% of market rent and the average one bedroom's 2,000, so you're paying $666 a month. Okay.
Oh,
Now, over 1 month, you got like $1,300 worth of rent increases to pay. So over 1 year, you're at 160,000 almost. 16,000 almost, sorry. Okay. So $16,000 a year. And you're 50. And you're thinking, I'm going to live till I'm 70. Right? It's like $320,000 of extra rent that you're going to have to pay because you moved.
yeah.
Right? It doesn't make sense.
Or
to
is
move.
it because you stayed in the same place for too long? How about that, TK? You overstayed your welcome in your cheap abode and you
Well,
didn't
I mean,
get
what's wrong with that?
acclimated to
Good for the
market.
tenant.
Fantastic.
Good for the tenant. Bad for
But
the
when it's
landlord.
time to move, guess
Yeah.
what? You take a fucking wallop,
Right.
man.
And so
Wallop.
I have a couple of different situations that we've been dealing with cash for keys lately and having amazing luck. But this one is definitely one of those ones where, yeah, she knows what she's doing. And landlords, I think, undervalue this. They think like, oh, I'm gonna give them first and last month's rent, and I'm gonna do this. No, you got to be like 8 to 10 times rent factor minimum,
Depending on where and
depending on
what
the rent.
building,
Yeah,
right?
and the
Yeah. Like,
lower the rent that the tenant's paying, the
oh God.
more X factor you need to throw at them in order to be
I
able to make it work.
I looked at buying this beautiful apartment building on Royal York, just south of Bloor. It was
Yeah.
so well kept and just so beautiful. Old and like had room for more units and it just had all kinds of potential, right? The rents were so stupid low. I couldn't believe it. And for like 20 something years, these like European out of town owners didn't raise the rents. Then like they finally found out that they could raise the rents and they started raising the rents. But like everybody in that building had a vested interest to keep those rents low and keep their mouths shut and, you know, make sure nobody raised those rents.
Good for
And they
them.
crazy beautiful place and like people were paying $600-750 a month for a 2 bedroom, like crazy cheap prices. So yeah, how do you ever get those people out if your plan is to get them out? You can't.
You got, well, one, like it's got to be on both sides. So you have to be looking at them like they're human beings. They need a place to
Yeah.
live. You
How can
can't
you
just be like, take your money and go. I don't want to see you. You need to go and find
you can try that.
another place that's similar to theirs, that's going to meet their lifestyle, hopefully improve their lifestyle. So if they're going to be living closer to family, live closer to their job, live closer to transit, maybe they've got accessibility issues, they need to have maybe a ground floor. Go out there and do what's necessary to find this person a better place to live so that when you do come to them with an offer, you can say, look, this is where I can move you to. I have everything in place and I can make this work. Right. So
Yeah.
now there's a little bit of, oh, that's for me, I have to pay more money, no problem, because I'm moving into a better situation for myself. That's the very first step. If you're not doing that, you're going to be paying a lot more money than you need to. Then you figure out, okay, what's your moving costs, what's your first and last, all that kind of stuff, and you know, make sure that they don't feel the
So but you're
brunt of
talking
the
about
expense.
So, but you're talking about like tenants that are living in somebody's basement or something like
Anywhere,
that.
1 bedroom apartment,
But you're not
2 bedroom apartment,
talking.
whatever it is.
But you're not
Apartment
talking
buildings,
like,
everything.
yeah, everything. Okay.
Everything. It doesn't matter what it is. You find the connection that's going to make the tenant say, that's a better place for me. What are you going to help them with? What are you going to do? Once you find that out,
It's
you can
different
go and
when
find them.
there's 20, 30, 40 of them than one.
Well, you work with them one at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
if
an
you buy if you buy an
assembly
apartment
within an
building
assembly.
and you get your managers in there and you start working one by one.
I see guys buying buildings with like 30, 40, 50 people in them. There's some deals I've seen. I worked on one, 100 units that have to be rental replaced. It's like,
Yeah.
so like those
You get a
people,
good price on the building, it works.
well, you got to
You
bring
get a
them
good price on the
back,
land,
but you
it
got to
works.
put them somewhere. It's like, yeah, no, this is young and bluer. I mean, actually, it was a pretty good price, but long time ago.
Me
But
and you were talking about that this week, right? You were talking about an N13 for something.
that's for my new deal.
Yeah,
I got
right. So N13s.
I got some tenants in some of these houses, so
yeah.
I got to figure out what to do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, the N13 protects the tenant, and you know, figure out what it is that makes sense for them, and try to work with them.
I
Right.
feel like some of this is a little selfish for from the tenants. Like, I think the developers should be allowed to relocate people in order to provide more housing for more people. It's like you're sacrificing a few for the greater good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that won't be a popular opinion with people, but I mean,
Well, the other thing too for your type of developments is you're talking years before that unit would become available again for these people.
that's the crazy thing is like you
Yeah.
get
So
like, what the fuck is
what are
this
they going
whole
to do? They're
thing?
like, I'm going to go sleep on a couch until the
Not
building's
only
built.
that, even if they don't want it, you still have to put it back in
I know.
at this like ridiculous price and these stupid sizes. Like the whole thing doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But if you buy the thing right, then it's a line item and it's just another stupid thing to deal with.
That's it. That's that part of the building.
That's it.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna have to deal with this
Someone's
at
going to have to
some
live with
point.
those guys.